Lie.
I look like crap.
No, you don't. How you
Yes, I
doing?
do. I'm tired.
Are you?
I'm trying to have a good attitude about everything, but
Yeah.
I just I want to show everybody, just because.
Here it is, you guys. There's the jacket that she was wearing that day.
God, it still smells like
Aw,
her. Y'all just don't even know.
aw,
So
Candace.
that's her jacket, and I guess I'm like overjoyed that I got it all back.
There's the
Yeah,
swimsuit.
there's her little swimming suit
Look at it, you guys. Look.
with her little
Look,
fishy on it.
look how pretty that is, you guys. That's
And
so
it,
precious.
yeah, if law enforcement wanted that stuff, they would have not left it in my yard for the dogs to chew up. They would have took it with them.
Wow.
That's the way
Yeah.
I look at it.
Why, yeah. You're
And then
right.
here's a little T-shirt that she loved to wear all the time.
Oh, guys, look. Oh my goodness, look, you guys. Can you guys see her little t-shirt?
It says love something. I guess it just says love.
Oh, you guys. Thank you for sharing this with us, every one of us, Candace.
And then so everybody that was so concerned about the light bulb that was in there, I just wanted everybody to know that it's a homemade light bulb,
Yep.
and it's a Christmas ornament is what it is, and they go with these lights.
Oh,
And the
I
lights,
love
they have
that.
two functions. One is stay on, and the other one is sound activated.
Aw.
So that was her Christmas tree ornament.
Oh, that's sweet, Candace.
And
That is
then
sweet.
all her little hair ties that I love so
There's
much.
her hair ties, you guys. There's her hair ties. Baby Summer's hair ties. Oh,
And then her little pony that was in her box when the gal that made the box for summer,
uh-huh.
the little horsey that was in it to go on a Christmas tree.
Oh, she would have loved that, wouldn't she?
Yeah, she's awesome. And
Oh,
then all Summer's little rings and stuff that I've bought her.
did she wear those rings?
Some of them, yeah, she loved putting jewelry on.
She was a girly girl, wasn't she?
She was a girly girl plus a little tomboy girl. But then there's
Yeah.
other little trinkets and stuff, bracelets, whatever. And then
Mm-hmm.
her little purple bracelet.
Oh,
And then, and somewhere in my stuff, I have another one that says Daddy's Girl, but this one says Mommy's Girl.
oh, I love that. That is so sweet.
And
That
then
is
there's some
sweet.
more earrings and bracelets and necklaces that I've got for her.
Oh, show them that one that wrapped around that you used to put on her wrap around her arm.
Oh, this one. It's supposed to be a choker, but me or Summer didn't like stuff around our neck. So we would take it and we would wrap it around our wrist like this.
She wore that, you guys. She was a
And
girly
just
girl.
a little bling bling, for a little girl.
Oh yeah.
And then
Oh,
one of her little kitty cats that she loved.
oh. Did she pack that around a lot?
Yeah, she did. She carried this around all the time in her pocket. It was like, and
Oh,
I have more of these that she liked, but this was her favorite one.
oh, that's so sweet.
And then here's another set of LED lights that I was making for another Christmas ornament for her.
Oh,
But I didn't get it. Excuse me. I didn't get a chance to put this one in a Christmas ornament yet.
oh,
And that's the box of things that was Summers is all right here.
oh. And it's got other clothes and stuff of hers in there too,
Oh
guys.
yeah.
Oh, thank
And
you,
then
Tiffany's Cake. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to the channel.
and
God bless.
then okay, I'm just gonna keep on going, Daisy, if you don't mind.
Yeah. You do what you got to do. This is your baby.
Her baby blankie.
There's her baby blanket, guys.
You know what? I love it. That's just one of
Oh,
them. This was her diaper bag. I know it kind of looks strange, but it was homemade.
oh.
Okay, guys, I'm here. Good morning. Hello, Danny Lynn to the legendary. In this video, she acts happy. Well, yeah, we're going to talk about that. That's what I want to talk about here, okay? Mishu313, hello, zero emotion. I don't. Listen, it's been 2 years. My opinion. Now, this is just my opinion. You can agree with me, you cannot agree with me. I'm not going to deny anybody their thoughts, okay? And I can 100% see why you think the way you do. But I'm going to tell you what I seen in this video. For the first time since June 15th, 2021, this woman got on camera and showed us Summer's personal belongings. And to me, it's the most we ever got out of her about Summer. Hi, Laura. You know what I mean? Like, remember the other day we were talking about we don't know how we would react. We were looking at the videos. What was that? Yesterday, the day before. Well, Joe, okay. So let me ask, what makes you think that she lied? What do you think she lied about? Because I'd like the review, maybe we'll do that instead of the new video. I'd like to go over the video where she first brought the box out, okay? Because she claims in her new video that she said I could turn it in or something or other. She didn't say she was turning it in. However, if I remember correctly, she also said, and I could be wrong, so that's why I want to go back and review it, but I think she said she also called the feds and told them she had it. So I want to go back and listen to this first again, because at the beginning of this, Candace says they wouldn't have left it in the yard for the dogs to get or something or other. Okay. So that tells me that that jacket, okay, the jacket was there. Here's what I'm thinking. Okay. It's hot. Summer gets home. She's getting out of the car, running around. She's probably outside because we don't know. It's never been made clear what happened between what 3:30 and the time she goes missing, or at least until Jody Sue heard her scream. Right, 3:30's always been that wishy-washy timeline for me. So, in my opinion, what I'm thinking is Summer comes home, she whips her coat off into the yard, and it's just there. So, why would the police want it if it's just laying in the yard? Do you understand what I'm saying? The clothes were washed. Where is the stain? Maybe it wasn't a stain and it was the sun, Joe. Maybe we're all seeing things. Maybe it was just a wet Slurpee from Sonic and it came out when she washed it. Maybe she washed it to put it in a box. There's a million reasons why she could have washed it, but I'm just thinking it was really hot that day, right? she got this jacket on because she's cold from swimming. She puts the jacket on. Like, we don't know her scent, perhaps, clues on clothes of what happened this summer. Yeah. They could have used it for her scent. It was on. My opinion will never change. Candace and Grandis were. Oh, I agree, Sky Purple. I'm not asking you to change your opinion by any means. You know what I mean? I still think Candace and Dawn hold responsibility for being negligent parents. You know what I mean? No matter what way you look at this, but until the police come out and tell us that they're look, I'm just looking at this through the police's eyes right now, or through what the police and the TBI are asking us to do. And that is ignore online speculation, right? I just want to come out here and talk about the case. I want to get out things that I see and point it out, things that could make something. Yeah, Ellie could have had DNA. I mean, she lived there. Imagine how many things they took from the house. We seen the evidence list. If it's true that Benny had, they took many things. And now they've been investigating for 2 years. You would think they'd come back to look for that jacket. If I remember correctly, when Cathy brought that jacket out, everybody was snapping, including me, because all kinds of thoughts were in my head, like, what the fuck? It was hidden in the back of a truck. It was this, it was that. But now that I see Candace come out here and talk, I'm listening to the little things she's saying when she brings it out. And she said they could have left it in the yard. Let's just go back and listen, okay? But I'm not asking any of you to change your opinion. You're allowed to disagree with me. I disagree. Grandis said she was asleep in the truck. I doubt she threw the jacket or bathing suit. Right, but we don't know what she did after she got in the house. Did she go in the house? Did she come out, take the jacket off outside? I know how my granddaughter is. She just throws shit everywhere. You know what I mean? There's still hours of time that we know nothing about. We don't know nothing until the police call comes in from the car of her driving, which, by the way, didn't the police tell us not to look at that? What video did they tell us not to look at? The last known video of Summer was, what did they say? Like, they completely dismissed one of those videos. Do you remember that? What did Mishu say? Benny said the list came from Candace, but it's been taken down. I can't find it. I think I have it. Let me go through my Dropbox and see, because I was saving all kinds of shit around that time. I might have it. I'm not promising, but I'll look for it. Somebody remind me later in the comment sections of this live to look for it in case I forget. I'm still thinking the 15th was a plan to cover up and something happened earlier. Look, it could be anything. I'm just going over this video because for me, this was the first time we heard about Summer from Candace, in my opinion. And I also believe for me, this is the first time I have heard her talk pointedly. She looks healthy. She doesn't look drunk. She brought Summer out. Every other time we've seen her talk about Summer, it's been like on Ernie, where he's like, imagine Summer in front of you. You know what I mean? Bringing out the sadness and stuff. It's been 2 years. She's had to cope for 2 years, no matter what the situation. So now we can get a feel. Good morning, sweet sativa. Good morning, cotton candy boobs. Good morning, GGG and What I'm saying is I don't know who's guilty. I don't know who's not. I'm looking at it as innocence and guilt. You know what I mean? And I just think it's important that we go back and we look at this. And I think it's important that Candace did this. I don't understand all of the hate around it. That's just my opinion. Like I said, you guys are welcome to disagree with me. I won't hate you for it, but let's try not to fight. Okay, we're going to go back and listen again. Let me get to where she comes up.
Do you hear that? Me either.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Is that my new channel? Hang on, let me put the link up here. Candace. I'm gonna take the link and come.
It says love some stuff. They would have not left it.
I'm gonna take the link and come up.
All right, we'll just watch it from here.
I don't either. That's weird. Those things are sacred. She may not feel comfortable sharing. Well, I don't know if she's going to show them or not. I know she does want to come up, but I do feel like that. There's Leroy. There's Leroy Bly. What are you doing, Leroy Bly?
I look like crap.
No, you don't. How you
Yes,
doing?
I do. I'm tired.
Are you?
I'm trying to have a good attitude about everything, but
Yeah.
I want to show everybody, just because.
Here it is, you guys. There's the jacket that she was wearing that day.
God, it still smells like her. Y'all just don't even know.
Aw, Candace.
So that's her jacket. And I guess I'm overjoyed that I got it all back.
There's the
Yeah.
swimsuit.
There's her little swimming suit
Look at it, you guys. Look.
with her little fishy on it.
Look how pretty that is, you guys. That's
And
so precious.
yeah, if law enforcement wanted that stuff, they would have not left it in my yard for the dogs to chew up. They would have took it with them.
Did you hear that? They would not have left it in my yard for the dogs to chew up. They would have took that. So that's her. Is that her telling us like Ellie knew she had it, right? It's those things you got to look at when you're looking at this. And I know people are saying they don't see emotion. I see. I don't know. In 2 years, she has done nothing to help find Summer. Not walking with the search team, no flyers, as she said, nothing, not even pleading on the news networks. Yeah, but 2 years ago, she was an addict and she was on drinking all the time. You know what I mean? That makes you act different. To me, she looks very sober here. Maybe she grasps what she does. You know? I'm not saying she's innocent. I'm just saying I think it was a beautiful thing that she brought that out here and shared a piece of Summer with us. And it's more than that. You know what I mean? Like I for the first time I seen a light when she talks about Summer. She didn't look dazed out. She didn't look like she was on some kind of Xanax or something. You know what I mean? And to me that just it didn't change my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like it was special that she showed us Summer's items, the things of Summer that we should see. You know, there shouldn't be no hate over this. We got, like, for me, the bathing suit I thought was a dress all this time. I'm like, what the hell is she letting her swim in a dress? Now I see it. It is actually a bathing suit. You know? Let me see. Not buying nothing Candace is selling. Keep in mind the prank call to Mary. Well, I've said it, Miss Peacock. You'd have to go back a little bit and look at my videos. I went through those videos. I have opinions on them. They change daily, yeah. If it was a hoax, it was horrible. But what if it wasn't a hoax? What if something was going on that night? What if Candace was jacked up and confused? What if she was on something? Because she mentions the police. She had said There's always somebody with Donnie. I didn't know anything about the cornbread mafia. Like there was things she said in there that people never really slowed down and listened to. Now I'm not saying it wasn't a hoax because it's a little bit of a reach, but with my theory of Squall being the one at the start of all of the, I think she's the fake Faye. I know what the connections are. At this point, I'm not doxing nobody, but because of my theory, I feel a different way. One day sober does not make her an addict. Julie, she was an addict. You could tell she was. Come on now. Dawn was sitting there on the toilet taking picture cameras of her with. Come on. He was pointing at her arm for a reason. In my opinion, Dawn was being a douche that night, and that never should have been done. Then you have the night where he hit her or something on Molly Go Lightly, some shit happened. Well, she says she tries to stay upbeat with everything. She should have been bawling her eyes. Rebecca, how many times has she bawled her eyes online? Like, do you expect her to just cry every day, every day, every day? People, I'm sure she has to go on with her life. And if she's guilty, listen, this is not me sticking up for Candace because I do feel if she is guilty, but I'm looking at this at the perspective of she has not been arrested in 2 years. That's a long time. Why? Right? Why are people around them getting arrested? Why is Fred Hill going to jail and making up shit about a Cotton Simpson? We don't know Summer was not abducted. Do I think Candace and Dawn were shitty ass parents? Yes. 100,000,000%. No matter what, they're responsible for whatever happened, right? And tomorrow I might get on here and say this is why Candace could be guilty. I'm just looking at different aspects of the case and trying to look at things people aren't looking at, if that makes sense. Why isn't anybody cleared? The one thing the police never clarified for me was who is suspects, because when Ronnie Lawson talks, he says everybody involved is a suspect or something. It's the way he words it for me. I need to find that clip. You know what I mean? Like, he's not telling us the parents are or are not suspects if they're involved in whatever's happened to Summer. If it is money owed, we hear Dawn in that hoax call, for instance. We hear Dawn talk about the 80,000. We heard it prior to that. Do I think they're scammers? Fuck yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to see if you guys can think outside of the box here so that we can maybe try to figure out what could have happened. You know what I mean? At the beginning of this, everybody was looking into ancestry, the mother that's been dead for how many years that would have nothing to do with Summer. We looked into the sisters. We looked into Hunter and Allie. We've looked into all of that stuff, right? So I'm trying to, I guess, go back to the beginning, but show it with stuff that's going on now and the changes, I guess. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm freaking winging it. I'm just sharing my daily thoughts with you guys. I guess that's what it is. I just don't see what was wrong with her sharing it, and I actually appreciated it after all of the hoopla everybody made off of that box when Cathy first came out with it. Somebody want to come up on panel and talk about it? No arguing, no fighting. Civil adult conversation. I'll throw a link. I mean, I can't disagree to a point. I've said that. You can go listen to my other lives. You know, they tend to clear from the inside out, so parents first. Yeah, and they haven't even really given us like a real update. Even their last update wasn't an update. It was like Ronnie Lawson will come out and make another statement. He never did. You know what I mean? So it's not like they're giving us any information of who they cleared or who they haven't. I don't even. When was the last update? Last year that was like a big update? Dina Lynn to the legendary. I wish Ellie knock on their so-called door and surprise them. We want the box, and they might. They may go forward and do that. You know. Hey, Mishu. Hello. How are you? Can you hear me? You know, you're very low. I don't know. We'll just leave her there. Hello.
Can you hear what I'm saying?
I can hear you, but it's a little muffled.
Yeah, let me go outside. Is it better here?
Hold on. Let me shut my fan off. Can everybody? Can anybody else hear her? Oh, this dog is laying right at my feet.
I don't know how to look at cats from here.
I think it's just me. I have my fan in my ears,
Oh, yeah, I can hear you saying.
and my speaker on my computer really sucks. So,
Oh, you're loud.
so what do you think? What do you think of Candace showing the box?
I honestly, I hate to say it, but I think it was a ploy
Yeah,
to keep
you're
people.
really breaking up.
No way. Hold on, let me clear this stuff on my phone.
Okay. Do you want me to rethrow the link?
Yeah, does that usually work?
There you go. Wait, I just heard you.
Okay, cool. I just had to clear all that crap on my phone.
Okay, but no.
So this is better?
Yeah, it's a little better.
Okay, hold on, I'll sit still. That's probably what it is. I'm walking around. Here, I'll sit right by the router. Am I good?
Yep, you're good. Nope, I think you disappeared. I'm sorry, guys. I hope it's not me.
It's me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So what do I do? Just tap down and grab it back?
Now you sound really good.
You
So,
know what it is? I had my darn phone up to my ear like I was on the phone. Is that the problem?
yeah, probably. If you're on,
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
that's okay. So, what do you think of the box situation of Candace showing?
I think the box, I hate to say it and to be negative Nancy, but I think that she did that to pull at heartstrings for money because it's opportune timing to wait this long. Plus, she still hasn't really told us about summer. Like, if something happened to one of my nieces, I'd be like, oh my God, she loved to dance. She loved this song. She used to say this all the time. Like, I would just be all about her, pleading, pleading, pleading. And, we still haven't really heard all that much about summer. I'm not even 100% for sure how well her verbal skills were.
Right. And that was my point. Like, this is the first time we've seen a little bit. Will continue. You know what I mean? Like, is this something, was it because she was under the influence of many things that she was unable to do that? But will it continue, or will this be a one time thing?
Well, see, I guess in my opinion, it would depend on how much she made by doing that, if she continues to do it or not. I know that sounds terrible.
No, it don't, because I understand that point of it too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sitting on here trying to like do this side, do that side. I'm just trying to stay, I guess,
Neutral.
bias,
Right.
unbiased. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, just to sit back and think, like, because I have been going back and looking at like chats and who sends super stickers and who does what when. And I don't know, it's just intriguing to me that after all these 2 years, we didn't hear shit about that jacket, where it was, what Ellie, if they took it, you know? And
Yeah.
then here's this box hidden in the back of a truck with these items in it, and the jacket and bathing suit is one of them. Now, the thing that confuses me is we still don't know. I wish Candace would come out and tell us exact timelines of changing clothes. Because how do you get into the pants? Was the bathing suit underneath? I think we could see a t-shirt under it.
Well,
Hunter says she changed at his house. She says no, or Allie says no. That's
exactly.
always been really confusing to me, you know? So we know Summer at some point took that bathing suit off, I think.
Yeah, I think that they were on the same pages when she took the bathing suit off. Where they got it wrong was where they put the bathing suit on. Candace said it was at home. Hunter said it was at his house. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure they took the bathing suit off, like right at the pond. It seems like got that outfit out of Grandma's truck, put it on her,
Right,
and
but
then
then
when she went
why?
missing,
But
she was in.
the problem with that is she also said, "Oh, Summer was sitting on a pillow because she was wet."
Exactly. That's the part that doesn't add up. But
Like
the
the
gray
whole
pants and white
changing the
shirt does match
clothes.
up.
Yeah, like that's a big missing piece for me. The whole for me, you know, the whole
Sure.
changing the clothes, sitting on the pillow. Well, if Summer was wet, she was hot, she was cold. Like it just doesn't make that's the whole swimming hole thing. That's the part that confuses me
Yep.
most. That and the candy in the back of the car and the orange crush.
Yeah, because remember, Grandma had a whole lot to say about in the very beginning. The very little that she did say was, "Oh, there was some water back there that Summer tried to drink." And I told her, "Oh, don't drink that. That's old." And immediately my head went to that orange pop and what was in it, or what could possibly have been in it.
Well, I think it was just, in my opinion, Candace picked somebody else up.
Oh, for sure. I believe that
I
too. And
think
I
she
honestly
didn't
don't think
know the pop was
Grandma
in
was there.
there. We call it pop here. I'm sorry. I think she didn't know the soda was in the back of the car.
I call it pop too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, so I think that when that came up, she was shocked by it because not only her but Hunter was shocked by that too. Oh, Grandma bought it for her. You know what I mean? Both of them had a strange reaction to that. So, in my opinion, I feel like she didn't know it was in there.
Well, I don't think she knew a whole lot because even when, like when Hunter's recalling the events of that day and Candace and Grandma are recalling the events of that day,
Mhm.
very rarely is Grandma even mentioned when it comes to the swimming hole. And then even when Grandma recalled it, she could barely remember it. You know what I mean? When she was on the news talking about, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they went to the swimming hole.
Well, I'm
I don't.
also
I think they met
wondering
somebody there. I think
another
they
thing
met
that
someone there. What's that?
going back to the Chris McDonough interview, another thing that confused me was Candace was really adamant about no. Hunter said we went here, 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 and Candace is like, no, I know where we went. You know what I mean? So I feel like her timeline is off. That's just my opinion.
Well,
You
here. How
know?
about this? This is the part that confuses me. Don and Candace, especially Don, has said multiple times that well, only us and LE know the timeline. But LE came out and said keep them talking about the timeline.
Um, I think. Oh, I was just going over something, and I think it was the Scott H thing I was going over with Squall. He there's a part of that where he was reading the TBI website, and on there it says at this time, and I believe Leslie Earhart said it too, where they said at this time we're not going to discuss details of the timeline with the
Right.
public. So for me, that made me know that they, in my opinion, speculating, It made me think that there is something with the timeline that they know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Remember when Candace said when she was standing at the swimming hole with Chris McDonough, Chris McDonough brought up Hunter's like hero story about, Summer in the water and Hunter jumped in. Candace said he wasn't even like, if you watch it again, Candace gets all worked up and she's like, like, what is he talking about? He wasn't even like, what is she trying to say? He wasn't even there, or he didn't even go in the water. Like, what was it? What happened there?
Yeah, but she also said in the same token he was splashing Summer and Summer didn't like it. And I told him to quit.
That's true.
You know?
And
So
they had a
it's like
pool.
contradictory things throughout that whole conversation.
Yeah, you're right. And they had, I think this Hunter kind of got the script wrong. All the stuff that he was told to memorize, his mom memorized it. But remember, he had to be, that whole milk thing, too, has always floored me. And then, it's like, who doesn't put milk on their feet? Who holds cold milk in their lap?
Yeah, I guess I lied. There's a lot of things that the milk's another big one for me.
For
Because
sure.
I'm thinking, and I've said it before, as a teenager who wants to go see his girlfriend, who wants his phone, he's saying at the window, he's asking mom where his phone is or something. Remember, we should probably, next time I go live, maybe we'll go over that interview with Hunter. But he had said, I gotta find it. Was it that interview? Allie or him had said somewhere that Hunter was at the door. The door was open. He wanted to do something with his phone to call his girlfriend, or he wanted to get away to call his girlfriend. So he left the door of the car to go call his girlfriend. So to me, I can't see Hunter taking the time to move Summer, put the milk on the other side of her. I feel like Hunter would have just dropped the milk into the seat or onto the floor. Why would Candace say to him, if there's an empty seat in the back where he's exiting the car, why would Candace say to him, put it on the other side of Summer?
Right, it doesn't make any sense unless Summer was already in that sleeping state when it happened. Because remember, Hunter said she was still alive when I was dropped off.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes me feel like the milk was, there was something with that milk. He even said I left it in the seat the first time. Like that story changed somewhere. I'm
Did
going to have
you
to go back
see?
and listen.
Did you see? Oh, this is extremely interesting. Killer Looks found it, and Lady O actually found proof of it. That in Beach Creek, it's called milk math. If you catch my drift. And they use those white milk containers to carry that stuff in, to transport that stuff in. That's
Yeah.
a possibility because there was no condensation. They're treating it like it's gold.
Yeah. I wonder if the police, I'm betting the police went in there and seen if there was 2 brand new gallons of milk
For sure.
when they were searching the home.
I know. And you know what else doesn't make sense, Crystal? Is you think about a kid that just got out of the lake in a wet bathing suit, even if it is a hot day, you don't put windbreaker material on them. It's just going to make them all sweaty and clammy.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. They're neglectful parents.
I know, but it just
Mentality
doesn't even make
wise,
sense.
I'm thinking, what if that's the only thing in the car that Candace had to change her into? And Summer might have been a little cold from getting up. Maybe the water was cold because it was June.
True.
So it's just starting. The water isn't hot yet. You know what I mean? Like the sun hasn't beat long enough on the
Right.
water to make it like a steady temperature through the summer, you know?
Yeah.
So it could be Summer got out of the water and was cold. Like I'm just trying to look at this with every, like I see all of that stuff, and all that stuff could have definitely happened, right?
Mhm.
But then if you look at the other side of it, other stuff could have happened too.
Oh, there's a whole lot of things that happen. And like my theory is that I believe that it happened before the 15th, and the 15th was a planned cover up.
It could be. But wouldn't the police know that?
Maybe they do, but if you think about it, like why? Okay, you take Allie lying, saying that she saw Summer, then backtracking and saying that she didn't. So there's Allie's lies, there's Hunter's lies, there's people like Jody Sue pretending like that, like she wasn't friends with the Wells when we know that wasn't true. We have meetings in the woods at night. We have a whole lot of things to where I can totally see, oh, and they chased Dobbs out on the 14th. I can just see, like why in my opinion, these people aren't lying to protect the Wells. In my opinion, they're lying to protect themselves because there's something that they could get into trouble in. And the only thing
Yeah,
I can
and
think of,
that's something that I feel like that's one of my mistakes that I feel that I've made in this case is that I feel I've dug up a lot of crime in that area that probably I shouldn't have dug up that has nothing to do with Summer. But I agree with you totally that the people in that area are protecting whatever it is they were doing or did. And in my opinion, I feel the Wills were a part of that.
do you
You
think
know what I
Hunter
mean?
was there before the morning of the 15th? Do you think he went to the house that day?
I think it's a possibility.
Remember, he said that he wanted to see his girlfriend, and he said in that interview with Chris McDonough, that was the whole point. Like in his mind, the whole point of going with Candace, I think, was to, get alcohol, get some vape, possibly get high, and see his girlfriend. That was the
Yeah.
party spot.
Yep.
All his friends went there.
But here's the thing: it was the middle. Yeah, it could have been. It could have been like Hunter could have gone home with them that day. You know, I feel like they don't allow Allison to have her kids for a reason.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean? Like, I feel like it has something more to do with this because they kept Hunter pretty well hidden for a while, and Andrew and Allison were on her like he's not in a lockup, but he's like a group, like a maybe a foster home or a group home or
Somewhere
like
he's safe.
yeah. And I feel
Yeah.
like the TBI had that set up.
And they took Allie's younger daughter too, right?
Hmm.
And then there was and then I forgot, wasn't Marlena Crawford and her daughter staying there at that time too?
Um, that was the rumor, okay. But after talking to Dawn personally in my messenger, he had told me, and I'll show him. I think I've showed them before. If I haven't, I will. But he had told me that it was 2 weeks prior to Summer going missing. 10 days, 2 weeks. What the hell did he say to me? It was a bit of a time, you know, but Marlena was there and he kept telling Candace, we can't afford another mouth to feed. And I can see Dawn being a chauvinistic asshole and being like that, like, get that fucking kid out of here. You know
Well,
what I
dang,
mean?
man, that's two extra mouths to feed in a small house. I can kind of see his point. Like if I had a friend
Yeah,
with a
he
kid
was saying,
saying,
yeah,
yeah,
he was telling me that Marlena was dropping her off and like just disappearing and going out and doing whatever she does, you know?
yeah. Well, hey, I'm gonna have to send, because I don't want to say it on here, but after I drop down, I'm gonna send you an email of there's always rumors of a party, and people get on me in the comments like there wasn't a party. But in my opinion, you take the Don, Candace, Grandis.
I think it was an everyday party.
Exactly,
I
and
think
what's
they
called
were
a party? It wasn't a party with streamers and birthday hats.
yeah, it was like, let's
A get
crack
together.
open a beer, ignore the kids, let them run around outside. We'll have a fire in the middle of the night and hope none of us die. You know what I mean? I feel like it
Exactly,
was
girl.
a constant party. I
So
feel
that's a reason for everybody to lie. We know that Allie was lying when she said that her and Candace hadn't spoken in a year because her mom was just taking Facebook pictures in March with Candace at like Chili's or Applebee's or something. So I think, I think that there was a get together. They already admitted that, or Dudley said that those kids, the boys were allowed to smoke. There was teenagers there partaking. I think that the
and
reason that, yeah,
Crystal
maybe she
Spencer
got
said
into
that to me
something.
too.
What's
You
that?
know
I'm
what?
sorry.
That's a great, what you just said is a great point. I'm going to change it a little bit here.
Okay.
Crystal Spencer said that to me as well, okay? So when she was talking to me, she included David Britt, her boyfriend at the
Ooh,
time,
I know him.
in those conversations. And when I interviewed David, David's memory was completely different.
I got goosebumps. You did talk to David Britt? Because I've been looking at
Oh
him
yeah, for
since the beginning.
hours. I
What
have
did he say?
we could go over them. Maybe play one or two of them. I have hours of an interview with him on
Like, what was the gist?
my videos. Just that he was asked to wear a wire. He didn't.
Ooh.
Yeah. I talked to the Crystal and David's son. He was on there. It's a really good. Do you guys want to do that? We can go listen to some of it.
Yeah, I've never heard his account, and I hate to say it, but I was suspiciously lurking on his Facebook, thinking, "Who the heck is this little boy?" But he's got a wife. I didn't know that. I didn't look up his background.
Who does? David?
David Britt.
Yeah, he don't have a wife.
Then who's that little boy?
It's Crystal and David's son.
Oh,
Yeah, Crystal Spencer's the one that Dawn supposedly cheated on Candace with.
yeah. Okay, I didn't know that was their son that he's got all those pictures with on his
No,
Facebook.
it's their son. I interviewed David, his mother, and Crystal.
Did you see all his Then you had to have seen all his comments on. It bothers me that Summer had a Facebook page anyway with all these older men commenting
Yeah,
on it.
extremely too young. Like I see when a kid's like 13, 14 years old. I'm not going to lie. Like my kids had MySpace at 8, 9, but they didn't get on it unless I was there. And it was only because at that time, my sister, who's in full addiction right now, her husband was in the military and he was in Texas, in Killeen. And my daughter or my boys and her boys are the same age and they were very close, so I had MySpace for them just so they can contact each other, but I
Yeah.
sat with them. It was just a family thing, you know what I mean? So I sat with them. They were not allowed without me to sit on it.
And they could read and write. At 5 years old, what the heck does she have with a Facebook account, multiple Facebook accounts that Candace is running? It's just suspect to me.
Yeah, negligence.
Well, yeah, and then even that, the dyeing of the hair, the half head shaved. I could see, oh, it's fun and games with me and my friend and our daughters, but the shaving, I can't get with it. Their excuses don't match up. Nothing makes sense. I don't understand the head shaving.
Yeah.
Because if it was lice, why only Summer's head?
Yeah, the boys weren't well, the one boy was. I felt like the middle boy was shaved.
The middle boy stayed shaved, though.
Yeah, but the other two were not.
And then at Christmas time, only the oldest boy's head was shaved.
Yeah, that's true.
Just something is odd. And, I don't want to talk bad about Robin, but in my mind, because I'm a nurse, in my mind, she should have saw the signs. And then to hear, that she took Summer a lot and Don doesn't know what they did because they were at work. It just, has me scratching my head a little bit.
I think there wasn't a lot of parental supervision. I feel Dawn was chauvinistic and bossy and wanted to. I mean, this is just my opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
He wanted to control everything in the relationship in life. We hear a lot of people say that Dawn wouldn't give Candace money. She had to beg for money from him.
Mm-hmm.
We hear Jody Sue say Dawn was abusive to Candace and they used to call each other. We hear other people say Candace and Dawn fought all the time. We know that Dawn cheated on her. We know Dawn would take off and go to Knoxville. I feel like
he did the same. It was just a toxic relationship.
Oh, who does? Can you hold on 1 minute? My son just come in. He's trying to tell me something.
All right, hang on. Let me turn this chat on if I can. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to turn this chat on. I can't figure it out. Oh, here it is. Mrs. Peacock, you think Robin has been strange. Me too, especially, this is going to make me cry, but I can't even believe I'm saying this. But
Hey,
those
guys.
church videos were uncomfortable.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to jump off live. I want to continue my live. I have the contractor that came to my house yesterday. Apparently, my ex mother in law has been trying to call me to tell me that they're coming to fix my hot water tank. So I'm going to wake
Oh,
my husband up, and my son just came in with the baby. You see, my life is a never ending always.
yeah, you have a house full.
Give me 1 minute so I can wake him
Yeah,
up and
yeah.
put this together.
Birdie, was Dobbs used to potentially distract or the distraction used as something else? Hope that makes sense. Miss Birdie, in my opinion, I think that they chased Dobbs. You know, my whole theory of it happening before the 15th, I think they chased Dobbs out because he had a prime view of that hill. And I think that there was something they didn't want him to see. I think they were up to some things that they didn't want Dobbs to see, in my opinion. Now I can read it. Yeah, Laura Croft, I agree that, yeah, that he was set up. I feel so bad for Dobbs. I mean, he went through absolute hell and still owns that property, right? And he doesn't even want to go back. Hey, does anybody in chat know what the will, how the will is written for Don's property? Like, isn't it that he can't sell it? Like, doesn't it automatically go to his son? Or perhaps not. I'm not sure if I got that one wrong.
All right, guys, I'm sorry about that. Hubby's waking up. Son took baby in the other room.
Hey, Krista, what do you know about Sonia's visit and the timing and her husband?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Sorry. What do you think about Don's sister Sonia and her husband and their visit? What do you
I
know about
think
that?
I think it's just another mysterious thing you add to this. I think her husband has a criminal record for
Yeah,
not so good things like a lot of them.
yeah.
I think the only time she's come out to stand up for Dawn was on shares that I've ever seen.
And she kept saying she was like in Italy or some European vacation, right?
Yeah. And then they say things like, I never met Summer, but then in the same token, she says things like, well, my mother up on that hill used to take dogs and like she's in Tennessee all the time. You know, I feel
Yeah,
like she could come in and clear a lot of shit up about his past and being a kid, and she doesn't. So
true.
that tells me something. I don't like her.
I don't like her either.
If
I
I'm being
know.
honest with you, I don't like the whole situation with her. I think it's weird. I think that one of the things that bothers me is that nobody in Candace's family, even though there's already a missing person in the family, nobody in that family and nobody in Dawn's family has ever come forward to stand up for them. So to
Besides
me,
his
that tells
daughter,
me a lot. Huh?
besides his daughter, which was uncomfortable and cringe.
Yeah, well, and not just that, but at that time now, Dawn and Candace moved in on them. They're all living in motels and hotels. Like,
Hmm.
what the hell kind of dynamic is that? You
With
know?
kids when they're not supposed to be around kids. I don't understand that part.
But that's the thing. We don't know that they're not supposed to be around kids. We
True.
know that they're not supposed to be around their
Their kids.
kids. But is there a court order that states they can't be around other children?
Yeah, that's true. You're probably right. But well, so they're not. Both of them left Arkansas, and they're both in Tennessee as of now, right?
Yeah, they're both home, I believe. I think Candace had just came home the day she came and showed Summer's box, and Miss Cathy, I guess, gave it to her. She said, "What was I going to do?" You know, it isn't like the internet didn't see it, and there wasn't no calls to TBI about the box. There definitely was. Everybody called TBI. You seen it in the comment sections, like, "I'm calling TBI. You shouldn't have that." You know,
Yeah.
so they
I
definitely
mean,
knew it existed. Why wouldn't they come get it? What's Cathy the friend supposed to do with that box? Is she supposed to just hang on to it until YouTube makes the TBI come pick up the damn box?
the YouTube police,
Yeah,
right? I mean, I don't know. I just like this whole case is, I mean, the most complicated, diluted, misinformation.
it's extremely complicated. It's extremely lots of misinformation and games and Dawn coming out. I don't know Brad, but now I know Brad. I don't know Tim, but now I know Tim. A
Right.
lot of that going back and forth is what makes me feel personally that Dawn and Candace have something to do with this.
Oh, for sure. I can't, like I said, I can't think of, well, I can think of a circumstance in which Don maybe didn't know, but he kind of told on himself with all of his angel visit talks that he knew something was going to happen. But here's my question. Besides what Don did when he was 12, how did this whole SA stuff get, and so intertwined in Summer's story? Like the only thing I can
Well,
see
I
is
hate
her
to say,
behavior in church was
I'm going to tell you how it did.
okay.
And I hate to say this because I do like Chris McDonough, you
Me
know,
too.
but I do feel he did come to YouTube with a purpose of making money,
Yeah,
you know. He's a retired cop, but he does donate a lot of that money to the Cold Case Foundation. I think he didn't know what he was walking into
true.
when he did it. And I think him and Dawn had a fight over Dawn. Dawn started it because he thought Chris McDonough thought he was in the shed, which is completely stupid. The
Yeah,
whole
I
fight
agree.
is
I don't think he was
stupid.
in the show.
You know what I mean? Whether he was or not, what does it matter? But they
Exactly.
get mad at each other, and now Chris McDonough's talking to the sisters. I don't disregard what happened to the sisters. I believe it happened.
Me too.
You know what I mean? But I think it caused chaos in this
Yeah.
case, and it confused things. And I think this was about Summer and
Hmm.
not Jeannie and Trish. And I feel as though Jeannie and Trish were both exploited, as well as Summer, Rose, and how many others.
I agree with you. And I think that this whole SA stuff around Summer has tainted her, her legacy. It's tainted a lot. However, as a nurse, the signs that I saw with my own eyes were her behaviors in church. That's what made my eyes open. I
Yes.
mean,
Well, and that's another proof of negligence. And that's another thing. I have a whole list of things I want to review with you guys. Robin is
you
a big
think
one.
it's negligence? Like, I'm talking about, I don't know how to say this. Her behavior is in like like where her hands would go, the motions of her legs, like that's stuff that we're taught as nurses. That I mean
Yeah,
that is
you're
red
talking.
flags, red flags.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's being filmed, and the whole church is watching, and then the cameraman pans over to the parents who, Candace is sleeping. Yeah, it's just a bad look.
I'm not saying that this happened, but we know the whole Lawson thing. And I have my reservations about the Isaiah house. You know what I mean?
Me
So,
too.
a lot of something that bothers me a lot in this case is you have Linda who runs a daycare. You have this Isaiah house getting money and all this other shit. You have the
Cruise
church
like
the
theater.
church with the youth director Brandon Lawson and his wife. You know what I mean? Where he has charges and nobody tells nobody. It's hidden, not put on the news. Nobody knows about it, and they continue because the church is related, blood related to them, the pastor and stuff.
Yeah.
So they continue to allow this man and his wife to work with children. So there's a lot in this case that
Oh yeah. Junkie
bothers me.
Junior, the Lamplight Theater, like all that stuff has I say all around it, all around Summer. That's I think where it comes into play. Not so much Don's sisters, in my opinion. I agree with you.
Yeah. I just think Jeannie and Trish were paraded for their stories, you know? And then you have squall in the groups, and then you have Tiffany Marie putting them on. Now, I'm not saying Jeannie and Trish didn't do the right thing coming out and saying it, but it should have been said and dropped.
Yeah, I agree
Like
with
many
you.
other things in this case, it shouldn't went to where we're going to try to press charges. And I mean, it's over. It was 50 years ago. Everybody knew
Right.
at the start of that there's no evidence to prove that this happened, that happened, besides he said, she said bullshit, which if somebody's vengeful and mad at somebody, they can go online and make things up like they're going to prove that shit, you
I
know?
know that's the thing that's so difficult is, especially with like that whole Amber Heard thing and there's been other people. It's like, so anybody can just say, hey, this happened to me 20 years ago, and you're just taken as your word for it. It's the best. I'm not saying I believe, like I said, I believe Don's sisters, but if they were going to press charges, keep it behind the scenes. Like, why?
Yeah, it shouldn't have been brought to YouTube.
Yes, I agree.
It should. I think if it was quiet, Dawn might have gotten charges for that because Utah does go back and do the charges. I think if it wasn't so paraded, because think about it, if that would have gone to court, they would have said, "Oh, well, you said this on YouTube, and they said that, and Mary started her channel, and you know what I mean." I think Chris McDonough just
Yeah.
around and found out and got too deep.
Yeah, I think so too. I think his feelings for Don, he kind of got wrapped up in them and was willing to go at Don in any possible way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's a cop. You know what I mean? He has that cop mentality. He wants to go
Yeah.
after the criminal, but only this time he's public. So, and it made a scene and it put a lot of confusion in this case. That's just my opinion. Now, I like Chris McDonough. I'm not saying I don't. I love what he's done in Monkey's case. You know?
Oh, for sure. And he did a hell of a job with those interviews. Thank God for those interviews.
Yeah.
They were really good. And I don't know if these have just been popping up in my algorithm, but Jay for Justice had some great ones too very early on that I
Oh, yeah.
completely forgot about.
Yeah, and I've been covering some of those. I've been putting some of those in my lives and videos.
Yeah,
She
they're
was
really
one
good.
of the first ones that started. They let the baby back in the room. He don't understand me. My husband got him. Sorry if you guys hear my life. I didn't know this was going to happen while I was live.
You're fine.
My son just come in like, Grandma's really mad at you. You're not answering the phone. Jeez, woman. I'll call her in a little bit. But yeah, like I just feel there's a lot to go back and go over. Now that we know so much and we've seen so much, we got to figure out where the confusion was and talk about the important points. You know,
Yeah, and now we can touch things. I mean, I really thought at first, I'm like, oh, this is a wasted time. But the first time I watched it, I was like, hang on a second. Like, you can touch all kinds of lives in their story now.
yeah, yep. So, do you guys want to watch some of Cathy? That's kind of new. We already know and went over it, or we can go back and listen to some of the David Britt videos for an hour.
Hey, Crystal, real quick, where can I find the video of Candace on the phone with Ernie at night, like, uh, gagging?
Um,
Gagging?
what was the name of his channel then?
It was
Something Hunters.
Predator Hunter Nation.
Yeah, that's probably where you'd find it. I have it, but I'd have to really dig for it, and I'm not there right now.
Oh, okay. I thought he like got that channel taken away, and now it's like Tiger Lightning or something weird. I don't know. I never followed him.
There's been so many channels that have come up and gone away, and
For
so
sure.
many videos that have been put out and taken away because of the dumb antics that everybody's playing in this case, which is dumb because there was actually stuff with jam-packed information that we can go back and look at. You know what I mean? Like it really sucks when you
Yeah.
take that away. Like we could go back and listen to Trisha on Tiffany Marie, and I actually do think I have that too. But there's just like I have so much that I
I
just
would
want.
even. I was looking yesterday trying to find the old videos that were made with BK and Don and BK when he was there, and I couldn't find them. They're all taken down. Oh, can I
Oh
ask you
yeah,
a
I know
question?
that. Yeah, that was on my live. I put them up. Look, I've been saving videos for 2 years. I don't know
Thank
what
God you
I have.
have.
I just go through them like when I'm bored, and or even like if I get off of here, I'll have an idea and I'll be like, oh yeah, let me go see if I have this video. You know what I mean?
Hey, Crystal, I don't want to like ruffle any feathers, but this is a genuine question that I can't figure out a reason for, unless they got the answer, which I don't think could be possible.
Yeah, you
But
sound mumbled. You sound mumbled again. I'm sorry.
okay, hold on. It's because I plugged my phone in. This is my last question, and then I'll drop down. Because, like I said, I'm not here to ruffle feathers. It's just a genuine question as a viewer. When Krama Mama and Jenny and Chasing and them all went to, not this past vigil, but before, when they went to the hill and they were doing like acoustic tests from Jody Stews to hear what she could hear. And then all of a sudden they came back. They said that they were chased by someone in a car or a truck or something. Then they came back and they're like, we're not going to do any more videos on summer. Like, what? Didn't
Yeah,
isn't
like
everything
what the
that
hell happened there? I agree. I agree. All of those videos embody. Oh, Eric, thank you again. Thank
That's
you very
real. Thanks.
much. Very appreciative. But yeah, okay, but then we hear, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but I think it's strange and I think it's fishy and I think they ran into something that they don't want us to know about,
Yeah.
you know? And I don't like it. I don't. But I will say, like I shared the other day, not just talking about, but I think that was the first visual. It definitely was. She went to, but she was on Light Hauler Road and somebody was there like rubbing her engine and came around the corner at 40 miles an hour. How dare they do that? You know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
I saw that. Yeah, it's like, are you kidding me? Yeah, like they were kind of scared of things that were normal occurrences.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But that whole, hey, we were getting chased and we were really scared for our life. And you mean to tell me that like 4 to 5 YouTubers, not one of them took a picture
There's
or
a
a video?
Yeah, well, the thing, right? That's what I'm saying. Well, and we hear Adrian say, "Well, I wore the body cam." You know what? We wasn't recording anything, but I had a body cam the whole time, and it was on my dashboard. I had a camera on my dashboard, and I had my phone, but we didn't record anything. But we're done. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, and we're not going to talk about Summer anymore. And I'm going to take down a lot of my videos I have on her too.
It doesn't make sense.
Unless the only thing that could make sense is like what you said happened to you and it happened to me before. I've kind of gotten a little, and I'm not in any groups. I'm not in any research groups. I'm not in a Facebook group and I'm not in any Discord. Just from, digging around and I hadn't contacted anybody. Just from digging around, I was getting all kinds of weird things in my Facebook stuff, things in my emails. Like it was kind of scary.
Yeah.
So I do think that if you get a little bit too, maybe they got a little bit too close. I don't know, but still, then why make it a big secret and not and just keep all the stuff about sex? Isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah. It doesn't make sense that they're keeping things secret that shouldn't be secret. Not as YouTubers going to that community. It only brings more speculation and it only causes more drama and it only pisses more locals off. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, they don't want people there for a reason. So if something happened,
Mm-hmm.
in my
Oh,
personal opinion, because whatever happened, I think it happened on Light Hauler Road. I think I heard them say that, you know? So what was it that they did? I don't know. I I have no answer for you. None.
well, you know what the crappiest part about the YouTube thing is too is when I called Hawkins County about that FBI, the fake guy, and they had Detective Pruitt had like acted like he had no clue about it. So then he had me call the FBI. When I called them, Big Ben knowing about this. Like this was not news to them. They knew about it. But you know what? The first question that I was asked at Hawkins County was, "Did you get this from YouTube?" So unfortunately, it's the bad
Yeah, it's like
apples
the TBI ignores a lot of it. It seems like the TBI ignores a lot of the YouTube stuff.
for
And
sure.
here's the thing, they're looking for this little girl too, you know?
And
And as I always say, if you watch, like even now, like the Ethan Crumbly case is going on, okay? If you watch how the police and the FBI and all of that work, they do watch social media,
oh yeah,
you know, and they know where Candace and Dawn are hanging out. And just like us, the viewers, they want to grasp every word Candace and Dawn and anybody who might be involved in this are saying as well, right? So I
yeah,
feel like they know which channels they watch, they that show
credible.
things. I feel like they already know anything
Yeah.
turned in, mostly everything, because I've turned things in that I haven't put on YouTube. You know what I mean? So, which is honestly clogging up the TBI. Like, I'm learning. You can't do that. You know?
Well, I only turned in the that fake side, and then in the very beginning of Summer's case, I was interested and I was poking around YouTube, and I found about a group of I'd say between 10 and 12 guys that all commented and followed each other. They all had their own channels. Here's the weird part. This is what I turned in, and they were taken down almost immediately. These videos, they would like the thumbnail, and they would start off with about 10 to 20 seconds of, where it would be like monster trucks or like tractor farm type equipment. And then it would quickly change into like a group of men walking in the dark through the woods.
Ooh.
Yeah, like fires, doing creepy stuff, talking about there were some younger boys, underage boys there. And a lot of these
This was
names are familiar.
these were people involved in Summer's case.
They're very familiar names, and one of them is super. I wish I could see the videos again because I would recognize the people, but I only recognize one to two people when I turned them in. I don't want to say it here, but I'll mess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I
they
mean, if
were
you ever find them, send them to me. I've never seen nothing like that. Has
girl.
anyone
I
ever
can't find
seen it?
them. They were. I'm telling you, this was like within 3 weeks of her going missing, and once I turned them in, I wasn't able to find them again.
Well, would they still be in your email? Maybe.
It was. I called over the phone and
Uh,
just read to them. Yeah, I didn't email them because I wanted to know that, like, holy crap, like this is serious.
yeah.
And I didn't even know, like at that time, I was so nervous. Like I just wanted to make sure it went through because it was very disturbing.
Yeah. It is. This whole case is. There's just so many weird, strange twists and turns, and
No
like the
clothes.
sad part of it is that this was a real little girl.
I know.
You
And
know.
you can't rule anything out. That's the crappy part about this case is every time I go
I
digging,
feel like if Ellie is watching YouTube, they need to come on. They're capable enough to stop rumors.
I know. I
Like
know.
they
I
can
said
come
that.
out, they don't do no more press releases. They don't talk out public. Like it's okay to come out and say, "Hey, look, we're not looking." And Pruitt has, but under the duress of Benny screaming and yelling at him,
Right.
lots of aggravation. But Pruitt has said Jody Sue's not a suspect. But it would be easier instead of Lawson saying things like everybody involved is still a suspect. He could come out and say, we don't find any evidence pointing to the neighbors, or
The parents.
like he can rule some of the speculation out, and they don't. And
That's
that is what confuses me.
Well, yeah, it's like we have so little facts to go on that the only thing we can do is dig, come up with theories, and try to debunk them. The hard part is debunking the theories because it seems like it's all a circle, it's all connected. And
Yeah,
maybe that's our answer, girl. Maybe that's what it is. It's a big connected circle, if you catch my
yeah.
drift.
Well, and the other thing is like you look at the Monkey Vaughn case, which I've been thinking a lot about because his anniversary just passed too. But you look at the parallels between the two cases, you see LE and Monkey's case getting up there and debunking shit. Like
Yeah,
they come out and they do it in a professional manner. Why can't Lawson do the same? So it bothers me. Like you see, we don't there's just a lot of chaos caused in Summer's case by a lot of people. And unfortunately, I feel Hawkins County Sheriff's Office is at the top of that.
me too. But if you think about it, I was thinking about this last night. I was thinking, you know what, Ronnie Lawson, you've been a detective or the sheriff. I'm sorry, your entire career, uncontested. Nobody's went against you. If you really want to retire on a good note, you would think that he would be. You solved this. If he solves this case before he retires, he would go down as a hero.
Hmm.
Because the Carly Trent thing is super questionable, and I don't really give him much credit on that.
What's questionable to me about that is just the whole, yeah, the whole case. You're right. It's very questionable.
Who
That whole
found
case.
them?
And it's sad. Like, you can't even. I don't. Another weird thing is that family, the Trent family, has gone through something similar in a very close neighborhood, right?
Yeah,
So they haven't even come out to say, yeah, something like this happens. But there's differences because in that case, the guy who took Carly actually, they had custody of her. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
at one time, that little girl was living with her aunt and her uncle. but it's the same names that connect to this case, which is really
Exactly.
strange.
Girl,
You
even
know,
the guys that
it's like,
found them on the ATVs, even those 4 dudes that found them on the ATVs are connected to this case.
yeah. Hmm.
I don't know. Something stinks over there in Hawkins County for sure.
Yeah.
Sullivan County. It's just
Well,
so sad.
well, it's hard to tell if it stinks because we don't know what they're thinking. But I do feel that because they don't come out and debunk some of the rumors straightforward, that it causes chaos. Like they do come out and they say, yes, we checked under the planners and we checked in cars and we did this and we did that. We checked all devices, but they're not actually coming out and saying, we don't see no reason to suspect this neighbor. We don't see, but
Right.
instead we get shady shit like uh, Jody Sue's scream is unfounded. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like that's a very confusing thing
Oh,
to do.
and we don't have any reason to think that she was trafficked out of the area. But, and a lot of people run with that, but familial trafficking is very real. And when I looked at the statistics, it said 60% of the time it's done by the mother, which shocked me.
Yeah.
So he didn't rule that out. I think we can pretty much rule out, something happening with an animal and some are wandering away. I don't, there would have been evidence if that
Yeah.
happened.
But see, that's another creepy turn in this for me is the whole Tim Mullins, that first video he made. I don't know why. That video just stands out to me. The way he is like horsies, puppy dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like out of nowhere, he's talking about one thing, and then for no reason whatsoever, he starts talking about, well, I have sisters and little girls, they like them things like horsies and puppy dogs. And he
Right, that's how you get their attention, he said.
and then in that same video, he's talking about the wolf pack. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah,
a wolf pack, and I smelt death. There was a dead something there. Like it was just to me, that's disgusting. It's odd. It's strange behavior,
for
and
sure.
that is why when you have people like Squall and Scott and this and that, and then you find out these people know these people, and those people know those people, and they're all like, to me,
Like, I'm
there's
so late to the game with Scott and Squall and all them. Like, I have no idea, like, how they all. I don't know how I missed what happened last year with the fake Fed. So I'm super behind on that. But you know what caught my eye is Tim Mullins. Remember when he made a whole bunch of videos? That one video where he was walking along, it was right when the snow melted, and he was walking around the edge of that river right across the street from the Donna Ross mansion where
where
the
the reservoir was.
it was, I don't know if it's the reservoir. It's right across the street from, or right across the river from the Diana Ross mansion, which is where they do the Mason meetings.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and he's walking all along the riverbank, and I'm thinking, why is he doing this? Like, it was just a very odd. The thing, it was an odd. Like in my mind, he was looking for, if something moved downriver, something. Like, why is
Yeah,
he?
and he does weird things like putting gas pumps in thumbnails, and to me,
Yeah,
Tim Mullen is super sketch.
me
Like
too.
there's so many in this case that are super sketch to me. And that Tim Mullen is really high up on my list.
Me too.
And it bothers me, like I keep saying, the Squall and the interference with TT. You know what I mean? Where they were doing the three-way calls with the PIs, and she had made the wrong call. She had thought they were talking to chicken on a stick, which tells me she was doing three-way calls with several people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it's
They
just,
so who's all involved? That's the thing. And but here's my question, Crystal, is who should be, even though the FBI is looking into the fake Fed safety stay situation. My question, I mean, it's still someone in our community that's pretending to have these types of positions, so it still affects our community. My question is like, I feel bad. I really liked Penny. I feel bad that everything's pointing in her direction. But if I was Penny and everybody was like, Mishu, you're acting like you're the one that's pretending to be Stacey Slade, girl, I would be calling every creator I knew, like, let me come up, show you my emails,
yeah,
not just
let
a
me show you
screenshot
your
of me talking to
receipts.
someone.
I agree.
It's just to be very easy to prove it's not you.
Hmm. And I will be, like I said, told you guys last night, I have been having some conversations with Penny in my inbox. I haven't heard from her today since before my live, you know. So, but I plan on writing her later, and I am trying to like understand things, but it's still confusing because she's still not wanting to show anything.
Everything, right? I guess. And why not? Like,
That's
I
all
don't
I'll
know.
say about that right now. You
Right. I
know,
understand.
and it just puts me in a bad position because I really don't want to be involved with this shit, but man, vengeance is a bitch. You know what
Well,
I mean? When you're pissed off,
yeah.
like I've been pissed for a year. Like these people really made me look like something I'm not, you know? And in my opinion, I don't know what you guys
See, I
think.
don't even know the rumors about you, Crystal. Like, you popped up on my algorithm about like 6 weeks ago, and I've been watching ever since. So, I don't know the rumors about many people.
Yeah, well, it started with a Google Meet call. It's all over. I
Yeah,
don't
I don't even want to know.
remember it. It's all over, but you know, it's just the point like there's just been a lot done. You
Oh
know,
yeah. Well,
and
hey,
there's
I think that
shown, and I decided a year ago,
yeah,
actually even before a year ago, I think for me the true crime community really took a toll when I seen the turn and everything was at the marathon and the billboards and the chase and
listening back to
and
that
everything. And
marathon,
that's the thing. I stayed out of it. I always found the PIs kind of sus. So
right?
I reached out to Scott and he sends me this weird email back about the Edward guy. You know what I mean? Like, don't look into the PI. And I was like, okay, well, that's a bit odd. You know?
Right, the uppers. Oh God,
Yeah, like that's a bit odd.
why
So,
haven't they lawyered up? Like that's the thing too. Is Don was all about getting a lawyer, like needing a lawyer, and then all of a sudden he just cold flipped. Like this was in March. He cold flipped. I don't need a lawyer anymore.
yeah,
So I definitely think that but if it makes, in my mind, for like probably the last 2 months, I've just had, even before all the arrests happened, I have this feeling that, it's that we're going to have answers here. Like, maybe the next 3 months. I think they're gathering evidence and they have all kinds of witnesses or minors that are going to be witnesses too.
yeah. And I think that's a fair too because they have to protect the minors. Well,
Yep.
one, the credibility with Hunter, right? Like the reason for foster homes and shit. Of course, Allie's a piece of shit parent,
Yeah.
but I'm sure they're trying to protect some sort of integrity. And when Chris reached out to Hunter, to me, that's another thing in this case. He went too far because Hunter was with them that day and he would be a huge witness, right? So
That's true.
you don't want to have him. Chris, as a cop, should know that.
Right, because hopefully the day comes that Hunter's sitting in a witness stand on Summer's case, and guess what the defense is going to do? They're going to
Yeah,
bust out Chris's interviews and say, well, what you said that like just because, say Hunter told TBI the 100% truth and he told lies to Chris McDonough, that's not a crime, but it's going to ruin his credibility, like you
right.
said.
It will ruin the credibility. It'll ruin him being a witness. So I
Yeah,
think like maybe Hunter's because let's face it, Allie and Leslie did more interviews than Hunter did, right? Like he did that one
yeah.
little interview and then he was like removed from the home. The bikers come down. Andrew tried to take him, like more confusion in this damn case. You
Girl,
know what
maybe
I
that's
mean?
why they kept Hunter's phone. Maybe that's why. Because it's all the proof right there. They don't even need him to talk.
Yeah.
Like how many times he was up on the hill, what they were doing there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why. I never thought about that before.
Yeah. It might just be they're trying to, keep Hunter's words quiet and maybe he didn't spill enough to Chris McDonough
Right.
that they can still use him as a witness.
Oh yeah, and then
It's
Candace
really
showing up
important.
there
I
at
think
Hunter.
I'm sorry, say that again.
No, my bad. I meant, the whole thing about when Candace came to Hunter's, like after he was questioned, like, what did you tell him? What did you tell him? Like, what the hell?
Yeah. That's another thing. You know what I mean? Like, why
That's a
would
crime.
Candace even do that? What does she have to hide
Well,
that
that's the
she
big
would go to
question.
him? And it's not going to be vapes because even if the police wanted to press charges on her for vape or beer, it would be contributing to the minor, contributing a substance to a minor, right? Which is nothing but a fucking fine.
Messing with a witness, tampering with a witness, tampering with evidence. They have so many crimes that they could arrest Candace and Don for. I really truly believe they're more valuable being out with, where their phones are being tracked and listened to than they are in jail for law enforcement.
I think you're right. But on the same token, I feel like all LE already knows things. They just have to be able to have a solid, tight case.
Oh, they got to,
If
and this
not
is a
LE,
federal case,
listen,
right?
I don't know where my trust lies with Hawkins County. Okay.
And,
And I don't think that I will know that until we get some sort of arrest or answers or Summers found. You know? But I think the way the FBI operates, I have faith. We can have faith in the FBI. We know that they're involved. We know they have the card team involved. And when you have the card team involved, you think it's just one little team, but it's a team. Like they have forensics, they use Quantico, they use, you know what I mean? Like they have tons and tons of sources. But
they got to keep that 98% conviction rate at 98.9% conviction. And that's why it takes a long time, I think, because they want to have a Trump type case.
yeah, yep.
And that
And
explains
I
the
think
grand jury.
I also believe Summer could have been abducted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're looking at it in that situation, and it could be a human trafficking. Like let's go back. Like I said yesterday, I'm not saying Squall did that, but what if it is something that has all these private servers and they're doing this to do this illegal thing and that illegal thing,
Yeah.
and maybe finding Summer will lead them to a whole lot of babies.
I think you're right about that. But even if it has nothing to do with Squall, just, having her in church and all those eyes on her, Summer made, and all the neighbors and the Wells lifestyle, Summer was a perfect victim, even if it was neighborhood
Yes.
trafficking.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. She is definitely a perfect victim.
And that's so
Little
sad because
white
that
girl
falls on
with
Don
blue
and Candace.
eyes. Yep, white girl with blue eyes, blonde hair, unkept, not watched.
Yeah.
She was allowed to run. Something I caught when I was going through the church video the other day was the one guy that was praying for her had said, just last Sunday we were at the yard sale and Summer was running all over the place. So that tells us that not only does she run around the church, but when they're out and about,
Yeah.
she's running around as well. You know?
You know what would be interesting, but we'll never know until there's a trial, is, if there was any truth to what Dudley said. I mean, even if your parents are both passed out or outside partying and you and a bunch of teenagers are in the house, I mean, you don't know, like if those kids got into anything else other than some smoke, which is bad enough for a kid.
Well, and here's another thing too. Like we don't know. We know Dawn and Candace. Oh, excuse me. Hold on one second. I got a cough. We know Dawn and Candace always had people at the house, right?
Yeah.
So could it also be a possibility that somebody else was there with the boys? And they didn't want to tell police that somebody else was there. Could it be the boys had a sleepover or had friends over? Could it be like there's a lot of things that we actually don't really know that LE would know, you know?
Well, I'm even suspecting was there the night before, the weekend before, because, what teenager is up at 10 a.m., up and at 'em, ready to go? Like, come pick me up from the hospital. I do kind of have my suspicions with that whole Dobbs thing and the rumors of the party and get together, that maybe Hunter was there hanging out with his buddy Cameron and his girlfriend and his girlfriend's mom.
And we hear the stories of True was there sleeping in the trunk
Yeah.
with a friend and, sexcapades and all of these crazy things. We know teenagers were up there all the time. What if there was like beer cans laying around and teenagers, Summer goes missing, hurry up, clean up the house before the police come. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of different things that could have taken place.
Well, remember in high school, there was always that food spot where there was no supervision and we were getting into all kinds of trouble.
Yep. Yep.
I'm not saying it's the kids' fault, but I'm saying that that's what makes all the adults that were at that party or hanging out with them want to lie, have a reason to lie.
Yeah. I just think there's a lot more to this. I think Ellie knows more. Well, maybe not Ellie, but I think the feds definitely know more.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, the feds are like, I mean, when I called in those videos, at first I called the TBI hotline, and they were like kind of brushing them off. I'm telling you, these videos were freaking weird. And wait till anyway, I'll message you. But like, so anyways, I told TBI, and they were kind of dismissive of me. But man, the FBI, they called me back 3 times. The same lady. Like she was extremely nice, like, because I didn't save like the URL. I wasn't doing that kind of stuff early in the case at all. That was my first time digging.
Yeah.
So I just like sat there and was like reading the creators' names to her, the names of the videos that I watched, who commented on them and their videos too. It was like one of those. That's how it happened. But the FBI was extremely interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm sure they've looked into every corner. Listen, I'd bet on it that the FBI is watching YouTube.
Yeah.
They know who's committing crimes. They know what kind of crimes are being committed.
Yep, I agree with you. And you know what else, Crystal? You add in those private airplanes, the private airplane strips, all those trucking companies. Like, holy crap! Like the possibilities are endless of what could have
and the
happened
sad
to
thing to that is that all of that connects to Dawn's employment, who also connects to this Linda woman. You know what I mean?
And Dodson, Tim Mullen.
And that's where I'm looking at my connections. Like, why are all these people, like, why would Linda come out here and involve herself in Summer's case, knowing that she is a daycare provider? Why would she want that out there? Why? I mean, not that she purposely meant to put it out there, but why would you even want to involve yourself to the point where you're a super secret researcher for Scott H? And like, to me, that shit's shady.
Oh, big time. Big time. I would be scared, like, just as a nurse, I would be so scared. Like, man, I would talk to my family and friends about patients, but there is no way in heck that I would go on YouTube and start bringing up, I had a patient last night in 301 that had, their diagnosis was this, and they were a real pain in the ass.
Like, my husband's a security guard in a hospital, and he's not even allowed to come home and tell me shit. That there's times he'll come home and tell me a funny story, and I'll be like, stop, because I got a big mouth. I'm gonna tell somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you're gonna end up getting in trouble. Like, I know it's a little paranoia, but
no, but that's your job, man. That's your livelihood. So it's strange that not only, hey, if she would have came out one time and said, because she just couldn't help herself, but the constant, like, listen to this and updates, the messages that we've seen are very odd for someone in her position to be reaching out to YouTube people.
Yeah. Yep. And then even telling you whose children she babysits. And why is this woman who babysits Tucker's children on the job site saying she smells death?
Exactly. And that whole thing, man, that's another reason I think it happened before. Because that Don missed work Sunday. That was completely unlike him.
Yeah, that's funny. And then Dudley seen him Monday crying on the toilet.
The mud stunk. He blamed it on Dudley, fired him, and then Tuesday she goes missing.
And then Wednesday, Linda's smelling death in the garbage can. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know
Yep.
what day Linda smelled it, but I'm just saying, yeah, it makes sense. Like, and it's just so weird that all these people, and then they connect to each other. You know what I mean? Like, why are you purposely, especially people that know Dawn, you know, that have seen him
Right.
past, like, why are you coming out online and then you get the rumors of, like, there was that one video that came out of nowhere. I have it somewhere. Somebody who used to work for Tucker said that the daughter wanted to buy his kid or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you get shit like that, and it just throws more. Is that YouTube drama or is it real? But when you look at the whole of it, like, Linda is involved with Tucker, and Dawn worked for him, and then you have Tucker running for elections and donating to the Isaiah House, who somehow got brought in with like you can build a connection on that.
But you can't dismiss it. That's the hard part about this case is like I said, I'm not part of a team, but like think of all these teams I've heard of in the last few weeks and researchers, all these people digging and what can the thing that we all say in comments that we all have in common, there's no dead ends. Everybody connects to everybody, which I mean, the easiest thing is the answer, right? Which
Yeah,
is a ring. Everybody has their part, just like the Delphi case, kind of. I mean, look how complicated that is.
yeah, yep.
Who
And it's
knew?
turning out to be complicated even after an arrest. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, it's not, and I think that this case is going to be similar but bigger. I
Well,
think,
look at what you just said about, like about Linda and like, so and so wanted to buy a kid from so and so. That stuff should not be rolling off your tongue that easily. These people don't bat an eye at it.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
concerning.
And expect well, and another thing that bothers me about Linda is the fact that she is a daycare provider. So why are you on here researching doing this? Because now you're putting your daycare children. You might do something that
Yeah.
pisses somebody off, and you're putting you have a whole house like it's a home daycare, but you have a whole
Well,
house where you take care of several children a day, and now because of you inserting yourself into this case, you are putting the children that you care for at risk.
and
That's
what the hell is she watching? What the hell is she researching on YouTube that she doesn't already know?
right. Yep. There's a
That's
lot of people here that just the whole squall thing really really bothers me.
You mean about the only thing I've heard about Squaw is the video game stuff, and then that connects with Timmy and his video game stuff with kids. That's weird.
Yeah, I've never researched Timmy. I always felt like he looks like
Girl, he's
I
he's
just don't
their
want to
he's
go.
their recruiter, in my opinion. Timmy is the recruiter that takes these people from these video games. I think Timmy's a predator.
I mean, he could be, but more so than him, I'm more concerned about Jamie Wilson.
Well, yeah,
And I see how to me it looks like Timmy. And I hate to say this, like I don't want to speculate like this, but if we're being truthful and having a full, transparency conversation here, I don't want to say, but to me, it looks like Timmy could be autistic or something, so he could be somebody who's taken advantage of.
maybe, but he's high functioning, girl.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing with that. You got to, with that fake character, the Yimit, and talking about, oh, I was up all night, and
Oh, I
Miss So
forgot
and so
about
didn't even
that.
know I
You're
was with
right.
her
That
son.
is. Yeah, I forgot about that. That
Yeah,
is.
I should have got slapped for that. Remember?
Yeah.
He don't let his and he was at all the vigils with the Lamplight Theater. Like this is just one huge ring, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that you know what. Right now, that's my opinion. It's speculation, but I do think this is a trafficking ring.
And girl, I just thought of something. What is Linda's motivation? What's all their motivation for going to YouTube to make confusion and to get and to spin it like with their narrative to make them look innocent?
Yeah, and then all the involvement with Chase.
Yeah.
And the thing, and you know what, I wouldn't think much of that, except for maybe an older lady that was taken advantage of. But the problem for me with Chase is the whole I don't know Dawn.
Yeah.
Now this this phone call comes out between him and Tiffany Marie, and then it's like the next day he's up on the hill, best friends with Dawn, and then a year later, Dawn comes out on Smiley talking about I've known Chase for 7 years.
And Tiffany Marie just put on her community post a couple of days ago that same day that Brad called her with that story, um, who paid, you guys in the chat might know, who paid Brad $1,000? Like right after, it was like the
Oh
day
yeah,
of.
I seen that. Who
Yeah,
I
who was,
look at
who
that, but
was in there? Or did she have the names marked off?
yeah, I need to look at that better. I didn't get a good. I think I even saved it. I save everything. Like a lot of times I save shit. I don't even know what
Okay.
I'm saving. Just that looks important.
Right, right. I know. I like it. I use notebooks because it helps me be a little bit more organized. Can I ask Sage Sleuth what she means by bothers me that Cathy, the friend, said what she said about Squall and now wants to be mum about it all?
Yeah, that
I'm learning
bothers
about
me too.
Squall. What did she say?
That she knows what Squall did to her kids.
Right. Hey, Birdie, real quick, let me address something and then I'll be out. If someone states their feeling or opinion, do folks see that as spinning their own narrative? What's acceptable versus not? Well, Miss Birdie, in my opinion, we can
Yeah,
talk narratives all day and say, in my opinion, but if you're connected to all these people and you watch their kids and you hang out with them and they pay you, you shouldn't be talking to anybody, in my opinion, or
yeah.
spinning a narrative.
Can I please, because there are a lot of things, I just want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I disagree with Cathy. Okay. There's a
Mhm.
lot of things I take issue with her. But I actually do think for her daughter, I really like what her daughter is doing with the keychains and getting Summer's face
Me
up.
too.
And, Candace showed us in this video those keychains and stuff. And that does come out of pocket. So you might see me yesterday in Cathy's comment section stating that I have a Cricut and I do crafts and stuff. I'd be willing to send decals
Hey,
to
I don't think there's
little
anything
girl
wrong with that.
and charms to do it. I don't want to send money. You know what
Right,
I mean? But I don't have a problem with sending things to help her. I
right.
can even print out some of the, if she wanted me to print out some of the little summer things or stickers she could maybe put on a notebook or something. I really appreciate that her daughter's doing that. I think
Oh,
it's a
girl,
good thing.
her daughter caught me hook, line, and sinker. I mean, not the only reason I wrote her a letter. Like I was really excited, but then I thought about it because I read a comment this morning, and someone was like, "Why does Cathy wear a mask when she's doing her videos?" And as a nurse, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, and I even wrote it as a comment. I was like, if someone is immunocompromised, I remember Cathy saying like everybody was giving her daughter hugs and how happy she was, and that's what made me write her daughter a letter. Then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, wait a second, her daughter should not be hugging a bunch of strangers and coming home and hugging her mom.
Especially when COVID's still out there. My son's
Right.
a two-time heart transplant. I try to keep people as far the fuck away from us as we can.
I don't blame her.
So yeah,
Don't blame
like
her.
I definitely. But I've also heard rumors that Cathy's teeth are all fucked up, and that's why she wears the mask.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah, then that
I
makes
don't know
sense.
if that's true. That's just a rumor I heard.
And hey, maybe she wants her daughter to live a normal life because she's young, and you know what I mean. So I could be reading that all wrong.
Yeah. But I do appreciate what Addison is doing
Me too.
for Summer. So I don't want to I don't want people to think that like I'm going to go on the attack for Cathy. I do. There's a lot of questions.
Right, but I'm not going to shit on Addison.
Right. But I'm not going to shit on what her daughter's doing. And I do think as a mother, it's commendable to teach your daughter,
For sure, I agree. I agree with that.
So that's just my opinion. I don't want to put another child down either. You know,
No, I know. I
so
know.
many children have been affected by Summer's case, and
Well, let's hope and pray that a whole bunch of children are saved because of Summer's case too.
yeah, yep.
I mean,
Saved.
we know of
It may be the
4 or 5 that have.
thing, not just children saved, but for the future, being able, if it is a trafficking type situation, being able to have more control and see and maybe spread the word. Summer's helping so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Even though all this bad is going on, there's so many things about this case that have been brought to light that so many people have been able to open their eyes to. Like in other countries, people didn't think that America had such a bad problem with human trafficking, right?
Neither do Americans. That's the problem too.
Right. And it there is. So now people are more, and I hate to use the word because of politics, but people are more woke.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Seeing
aware.
the type of things that could happen. And whether Squall or not was doing his private server thing, it's a possibility that things like that could happen. So when you bring things like that out, parents say, hey, no, I'm not going to have my friend set up a private server for 10, my kid and 10 of his friends. You know what I mean? Like, that's something I can
Exactly.
do myself. What the hell do I need to pay somebody else to do it for?
Right, like you, and I'm sure you can like mess with the settings and and know exactly what your kid's doing. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a little odd to me. But hey, if you think about it, and then I'm going to get down. If you think about it, Summer, we already know that she saved three of her brother's lives, pretty much. So she already has saved people. Her brother,
Three of
like
her brothers and a lot of the other little children
yeah,
that her and her brothers played with that
yeah,
were being neglected. It's pointed out and seen.
exactly. And they've been rehome, put into safer situations.
And signs to look for,
Yep, that
drug
too.
abuse, and how important it is. Another thing for me in this case, because I do have two sisters that are addicts, something else that's important for me is like child services. I had custody of my sister's two kids for a couple years. And it's they're not as involved as they should be. It's like there's so many people with addiction today
Yeah.
that children's services writes it off. You know what I mean? Like they'll go into a house and say, "Oh, there's food, this, that, and the other. The kids are okay," and then they walk away, and then something
Mm,
horrible happens. So I think the bigger picture is that now that this is out there, and you do see people like nurses and um, social workers coming into the chats and talking, they can see and maybe ask for help. Like this is a really big problem, you
I
know?
know. And the reason I do not understand why mainstream media hasn't picked this up. Like I'm talking to my brother who's got three little ones. I mean, I'm talking little, like 2, 5, and 7, the prime ages. And even my cousins with kids, they don't have any idea of this stuff. Like, so yeah, we're all educating our friends and family and the people that we work with and our patients. We're educating them more and more. Summer's done a lot. Mental health, drug addiction, opening our eyes to, this ugly stuff that we didn't want to see before. It happens. And
Yeah,
look how common it is, man. It's sad.
it's extremely common. Like where I live, people still every day. Look, the other day I was going through Broadcastify something for something happened at my neighbor's house, and I was being nebby, trying to do this shit. So I'm looking and I'm listening. But during that time that I'm listening, it's only a half hour. There was like 4 overdoses, one being two females together. You know what I mean? And
Right.
one wasn't breathing. You hear the police officer in the background. I'm going to pull the Narcan. So it's a huge, like, this is for me. I want that stuff out there on my channel because I do have the sisters in addiction, and I've seen things like I've told you guys in the past. I've walked into trap houses where there's pimps protecting. Like they wouldn't even let me talk to my sister. I'm trying to report her missing to the police in Canton, Ohio, and the police are like, "There's nothing we can do. She's right there. She doesn't want to go with you." Yeah, but you're allowing her to sell herself and this guy to not allow her to talk to her family.
I'm
You know
fine.
what
I'm
I mean? And then
fine.
right behind her walks out a 13-year-old while I'm talking to the police officer, and the police officer does nothing. He turned a blind eye to it.
Hey, so I get it, man. When I lived in Detroit, I had to pull way too many friends out of trap houses, and it was like fighting your way through there. And unfortunately, most of them aren't even here anymore.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, I know that shit's looking bleak in our community, but there's a lot of us that really do have good hearts and good intentions and don't let the bad apples, like the darkness, whatever is done in the dark comes to light. And, like, look at all the good things that have happened. We got to focus on that.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
All right,
I think
girl.
that's a good note. Thank you for coming
Yeah,
on
good
and
talking
talking
to
to me.
you. I love all you guys in chat. Sorry I can't figure out how to chat and talk
I
at
don't
the
even,
same
I have a
time.
hard time talking and reading chat, so I've been ignoring chat. I'll
I'm
go through
terrible.
and look at some of the comments and read
What's
some.
up, Lady R? Hey, birdies. Laura. Thank you, everybody, for being nice to me.
Yeah,
Thanks, Crystal.
thank you, Mishu, for coming up.
For sure. Thank you. Bye. Have a good weekend, everyone. See you
You
around.
too. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. Wow, that was a good conversation. See, this is what I want to do. I don't want to fight with these damn people no more. I really appreciated Mishu coming up and all of you guys sitting here listening. Let me go through and read a few comments so you know I'm not ignoring you. And I did see you, Sage. I didn't want to ignore. So, hello. Let's see what the Sage say here. Kids always want to be a part of what's going on. His mother should have prevented that. Hunters, yeah, agreed. Okay, let's skip down some. Paula, in my opinion, I think there are people who don't want Summer found. Yeah, that's sad, isn't it? Because it does seem that way. Like, but why? Why don't they want Summer found? Why so many antics? And that's even for the people here, Hattie. It was said she was in a Facebook group about crimes. Linda, oh, I didn't know that, Hattie. Fill me in. Girl, you got the scoop? Laura, we know why they don't want found. Yeah. Mama Mac, she wasn't interested in Summer's things before this is all money. It could be Mama Mac. It could be. But I seen some, I don't know. For me, it was different because we've never seen Candace actually get out. And I mean, she showed some pictures and stuff on Ernie's, but never like this. Not sober, not looking healthy, not like I get it. You guys think that you haven't seen her cry, but come on, it's been 2 years of crying, probably. If she's innocent, you're not going to cry every day. And if she is having like some sort of mental health issue, maybe it was just a good day, you know? I know there's days I have a baby that passed away 26 minutes after birth, and I'll bring his stuff out, and there's days I cry, and then there's days I just look at it and smell it like he had the outfit he had on, and I don't cry. I get a good feeling from it, you know? I'm not saying Candace is innocent. I'm just saying there's different paths to look at in this case, in every case, you know? Hey, Dolores. Laura, I just want to thank you guys. Firsthand embarrassment here. Thank you for being embarrassment. What was you embarrassed for? That was a fantastic conversation. That's what I want to do. I should do some open panels more often. You helped with a great interaction, and if she did, didn't she, Jill? I appreciated that. All right, guys, it's been almost just about 2 hours here. Hubby got up. Somebody did they come fix the heater? Oh, the water heater guys here. I'm on YouTube. Bad. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I don't want to deal with them anyway, right? But so I'm gonna get off of here. I appreciate you all being here. Maybe I'll be back later. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll post some shit in my community post. Always post the music. Oh, before I go, I had an idea. No, I'm not gonna bring it up yet. I'll wait because I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it. I had a membership idea. I was thinking about starting a membership, and I have an idea where maybe I'll come in on Mondays, and instead of talking about Summer's case, I could come in and do like a music and crime Monday where we talk about crimes in the music industry and things that have happened, like maybe Tupac or Biggie, or, we have some things here because I really do like music and I follow that stuff too. But I was thinking just like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just a thought. Let me know what you guys think later on. But I'm going to get off of here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Mishu, for coming up. Thank you, Eric, for your super chat. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for being here. Much love. Bye.